Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Sharon Bown, and joining us this evening from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 1 Kim Owen. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that continue to serve, and the families that love and support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you are able, would you please stand and join in singing the national anthem? Those requiring a seat, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Squadron leader Samuel George Proudfoot. The second son of Hector and Leah Proudfoot, Samuel Proudfoot was born in Gunnedah in northeastern New South Wales on the 5th of January 1915. Following the Great War, the Proudfoot family moved to Scone, where they became well known within the local community, in part thanks to Samuel's prowess on the football field. A 1934 newspaper described the then 19-year-old as solidly built, fast and powerful, he marks well, and is not afraid to go on his own or send his backs along. He would take some beating to fill the fullback position in the New England side. Known as Sam, Proudfoot attended Maitland High School, becoming the school captain in his final year, and then attended Armidale Teachers College. After graduating, he joined the teaching staff of the Department of Education and taught in several schools on the New South Wales North Coast. His final teaching appointment was at Whippooree, during which he enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force in November 1940. His younger brother Edward had already enlisted. He died of wounds on the 4th of January 1941. Two brothers would also serve, and their sister enlisted as a nursing volunteer aid detachment. Samuel Proudfoot underwent training in New South Wales and Queensland, and in June 1941 qualified for his pilot's flying badge. 3 months later, he left Australia for overseas service with the rank of pilot officer, arriving in Egypt in late September. After time spent in training units in the Middle East and Kenya, in January 1942, temporary flying officer Proudfoot was posted to number 11 Squadron, Royal Air Force in Ceylon, modern-day Sri Lanka, where he would pilot twin-engine Bristol Benham light bombers. While in Ceylon, he captained a rugby team that met with much success. In late April 1943, he was promoted to acting squadron leader. Proudfoot was then transferred to India after flying more than 50 missions over Burma. On the 13th of September 1943, he was killed in an aircraft accident. He was 28 years old. He is buried in the Madras War Cemetery, Chennai in India. Samuel Proudfoot's name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, along with his younger brother Edward and almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Squadron leader Samuel George Proudfoot, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozieres or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and we wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.